Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys, 23rd of July, 8:08 is your time, and no major traffic incidents to report so far. The newsroom will keep us informed if anything were to occur. It's going to be a warm one again. We're at 86 degrees now, on our way to 90. Tomorrow, 89. But a 50% chance of showers tomorrow, 30% chance today. Tropical storm Bertha will not have effects on us. Headed towards New Orleans, though. We'll keep an eye on that and any other developments that may happen. Should you have loved ones or friends in that area, we certainly wish them the best. We're going to say good morning to Sam Kauffman, current city commissioner and running for mayor. Good morning. Well, actually, you're, let me get that right, commissioner. Are you still commissioner? Or
I am still the commissioner from District 2, yes, in the city of Key West.
Of course you are, because I see you at all the meetings, et cetera, et cetera. I had a little brain lapse there, but I knew that you had focused on also pursuing the mayoral race as well. You can find out more at Kauffman4KeyWest.com, a new mayor for real change. So let's talk about the budget, since you are a sitting commissioner as well. Had the budget workshop the other day, apparently wrapped up early in the afternoon. What's your take on what you saw and heard from the budget upcoming?
Well, first of all, good morning, Michael, and good morning, everyone out there. Although it's a little warm, it's still amazing that we get to wake up in the Florida Keys and Key West every day. We are blessed. We have to remind ourselves of that. And it's a bright day. It's a new day, and it's great. That's how I wake up every morning.
I love the optimism. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, because you have how many people around the world traveling to Key West and putting their nickels together so they can have that one chance to be here, and we're here every day. And sometimes we take it for granted, some of us, and I don't. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, and Commissioner, I was just going to say too, I was talking to my son who lives in Pittsburgh, which is not the most picturesque place in the world, but he's happy, has a wonderful family, et cetera. But he was vacationing with his mom at the beach in Jersey, and he said, "Oh, I'm sitting out at the beach looking at the ocean." I said, "Coincidentally, I do that every day." So,
exactly, exactly.
So anyway,
maybe he should move here. We'd love it to have another Stapleford in the lower Keys and Key West.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, the budget, it's being done differently this year, and if anyone was watching the workshop, they know what my position is. And I think that there was certainly not enough of information ahead of time for the public, for the media, even the commissioners. For example, the commission received the transit budget, which is a disastrous budget this year. This budget is eliminating Key West rides, which our lowest wage earners or lowest income folks, our retirees depend upon to get around town. That's being eliminated. We received that budget on Thursday prior to the Monday budget workshop, where we made these decisions, and it's just not acceptable. That's not acceptable. I don't know why. Really, there's been no explanation for that. But when you talk about a $300 million budget, 19 departments, 550, I think it's up to 568 employees now. And commissioners and the public and the media only have days to review the budget. In all of my years as a city commissioner, this is the least amount of time that has been provided. And as mayor, I have to tell you that this is going to be completely revamped when I'm mayor. We're going to have at least a month of meetings ahead of time where the public can see the draft proposals, the presentations. And by the way, this is how it was done for many, many years in the past, because it makes sense. In order to have a strong budget, in order to set our priorities, we need to solicit the input from the public. We need to encourage the public, because people have very strong opinions about trees, about transportation, about parking, about police, our police department, our fire department, so on and so forth. So that's kind of what we need to get back to, that is have more openness and public involvement and commission involvement.
Hmm.
But then specifically about the budget, I could talk about that as well if you'd like. The
Sure. Yes. Yeah. Well, we had, it looks like, rollback rate of 1.8848 on the proposed budget for fiscal year 26, 27. And of course, we know what rollback is. How do you feel about that rate that's been set or target?
It's a fine start, but it's nowhere near where it needs to be. You
Mhm.
know, if our residents and our business owners are not paying attention, they need to be, because as I said during the city commission workshop, we're in bad shape. We're in really bad shape from a city perspective because there's at least 4 million, probably $5 million of unfunded expenses that exist, and that comes from all of the bond approvals, which I have been very critical of, right? Because the city can't afford a $40 million fire station. I'm all for replacing the fire station. I support the fire department and the police department. But our own previous finance director says the city can't afford it. We certainly can't afford it because, as I said during the city commission workshop, if you add all of the debt service, so when we borrow money, we have to pay it back, right? And
Mhm.
when we take out a bond, that's a loan, has to be repaid every year over 30 years. The city estimates that now at $3.3 million dollars a year, which is not funded. So if you just, I just did the math. If you add the $3.3 million that is not funded now to pay for the fire station, the new FDOT, Florida Department of Transportation project at Jose Marti near HOB school, which is desperately needed. I don't take an issue with that.
Mhm.
And also the $10 million bonding taken out for roads and mill and pay for to repair roads, which I think is should have been the highest of the priorities, by the way.
Mhm.
Um, if you take the 3.3 million, you take the $700,000 that we're estimated to lose from the new property tax reform from homestead properties.
Oh, yeah.
That's in year one. That's $4 million. You divide that by 228 million, I mean, excuse me, 228,000. That's a 1% tax increase.
Hmm.
That's 17.5% tax increase that the city would have to come up with to pay for the debt service and the property tax reform. That's unacceptable. That's not going to happen.
Mhm.
So rollback sounds good. And yes, every year I vote against the budget because I want rollback or a reduction in taxes. Last year and the year before, I argued strongly we have to cut taxes. We have to cut taxes because look where we are now.
Hmm.
We can't afford these things. So anyway, that's the big picture. And so why should people pay attention? Because it was remarkable during the city workshop where uh, uh, Vice Mayor Donnie Lee, other commissioners, the city manager said they're going to start working on cutting firefighter jobs, police officer jobs. Unbelievable. That's unacceptable too. So
Oh,
what we really need to do is we need to sharpen our pencils, go back to the fire station bond. We don't, I don't think we need a $40 million fire station. I'm sorry. It's a small building. We could probably make a first class fire station for $20 million and not have to terminate firefighter positions and police positions.
Mm. Sam Kauffman running for mayor. He's on Keys Talk 96.9, 1025, the talk of the Keys. And of course, the sitting city commissioner for District 2, having served the city for 10 years now. Is that right?
Yeah, almost 11 years.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that service. And I know you're looking to continue to serve potentially as the mayor of the city. So we had a second day set for a workshop, but it ended at about 2 o'clock yesterday. Is it accurate to say we
No,
could have had more? Was that right?
it ended on Monday. Yeah.
Oh, Monday. So, yeah, like, boy, I am. I tell you, there's so many different races. I was in marathon yesterday, et cetera, et cetera. In my defense, I'm getting a little confused. Yes, Monday, of course.
Right.
We had 2 days allocated, and typically we do utilize more than a little over half a day. It does sound like we maybe could have had a little more discussion.
Yeah, look, the budget process is probably the most important thing commissioners do, and we spent, you know, maybe 5 hours doing it, and to go over 19 departments. Uh, some of my colleagues didn't ask a single question during budget workshop, um, and we didn't cover every single department, and this process can be improved and it needs to be improved. And we need to get into the priorities. And I mean, part of the problem is the city has not had a strategic plan. You've heard me say that before. In order to unite a city commission, in order to unite a community, and if we have a process to bring people together, identify the priorities, get the buy-in for those priorities, and then fund them. That's the order which this should go. And we haven't done that. And so we can improve this, and we will. Next year will be a lot better. And I think our finance director is great. I think the bones of what we have in the finance department it's great there. But we need better leadership at the top.
Hmm. Sam Kauffman, a leadership you can trust, and a decade of showing up. That's from his website, kaufmanforkeywest.com on Good Morning Keys. So, Commissioner, I don't know that the city has much say or any, well, even view on the College of the Florida Keys and their change in leadership. Did you have any comment you wanted to make on that, or?
Sure. I think Dr. G has done a great job. I'm very sad that he will be leaving the College of the Florida Keys. I don't know enough about the contract or
Right.
what will happen, but from a city perspective, I have to say that the amount of growth at the college, and I just know from my family experience with my children taking college classes while they're high school students, it's been an amazing opportunity for both of my children. I have a rising junior at the high school, and I have an older daughter who's at University of Florida, and she took. I mean, both of our children have taken advantage of the College of the Florida Keys, and my vision is to grow that partnership with the college. We had a great partnership on the water quality testing program, which unfortunately this mayor and this commission decided to terminate, which is unfortunate. But their marine biology program, their science technology, marine technology programs with hydroelectric power, with water testing, it's state of the art. It's amazing. So my vision is I would love to see the city provide internships. For example, we have a lot of young people that maybe they don't want to go to college, right? Maybe they want to be an electrician, maybe they want to be a plumber, maybe they want to be an HVAC tech, maybe they want to be a mechanic. Guess what? In the city, we have all those departments, right?
Mm.
So why not, why not? And I've talked to Dr. G about this in the past. Why not have those students at the high school take those vocational courses at the college and then place them in internships in our fleet services department to fix our cars, in our HVAC department to fix our ACs. I mean, and why doesn't the school district do that?
Mm.
I mean, it seems like a perfect, because we want our young people to have good paying jobs and to stay in the Keys, to stay in
Yeah.
Key West. And that's how we're going to do it, to have these types of programs. So I hope whoever the next president is open to that, because that's kind of the direction that I want to take with regard to the college.
Okay, Sam Kaufman, he's Commissioner of District 2 and also running for mayor of the city of Key West on Good Morning Keys. So, speaking of keeping our students in the community and providing opportunities for them, affordable housing, of course, is one of the keys to that. Talk about some of the initiatives that you've backed in your 10 years and how do we continue to attack this problem going forward if you were to be mayor?
Yeah, I have to say I've been fighting this fight for the last 10 plus years. As maybe your listeners know, I've been chair of the Florida Keys Outreach Coalition for the last 20, almost 25 years. And that's the largest housing program, transitional and permanent supportive housing for homeless men, women, and children. When I first started 25 years ago, we had 12 beds. Now we have about 175 beds in Key West on the island
Mm.
for our family members.
Mm.
Including those with mental health diagnoses. It's very important and it's very near and dear to my heart.
Yes,
And
sir.
so having opportunities for those at the lowest income levels, because look, we're one human family, we're one island, and we have people at all the levels of income. And we have to, and in my view, is the government should not really be in the housing business. You'd probably be surprised to hear me say that as the strongest advocate for affordable housing in Key West. Because I believe in the market. I believe in capitalism. I support capitalism. I'm a small business person. But the government should be involved when there's a gap in the market not providing that particular aspect of housing. So I don't believe, my personal view is I don't think that the the government should be involved in market rate housing, because market rate housing should be governed by the market and by those contractors, developers, and property owners. But when there are people that can't find housing at the lowest levels of rent, that's where the government needs to come in and supplement. That's my orientation to this.
Hmm.
So I've been fighting that fight for over 10 years, and things I'm proud of. I was able to sponsor the renewal of the Home Buyers Assistance Program. Those young families that have the opportunities, for example, through Habitat for Humanity, to buy their first home, and they need that extra $20,000 for the down payment, or that veteran who's getting that, VA loan, and they need that $20,000 to get in there. And by the way, in the last 2 years, 30 families in Key West have purchased homes through our Home Buyers Assistance Program.
Hmm.
So very proud of that.
Yes, sir.
And I've been involved in so many different things, as I'm sure your listeners know. But as mayor, where the direction I would take this is, there's a lot we can do, and we need to focus on things like, for example, Stadium Trailer Park is very important to me. For those of you who don't know, there's probably 17 or 1,800 people who live in Stadium Trailer Park. It is all market rate, by the way. All of those lots are market rate. But my concern is when that trailer park changes hands in the future, that all those units become market rate, bulldozed, and condos go up there. The city needs to actively reach out to the property owner, because the property owner has wanted to develop the property to keep the folks who live there on the property in a way that allows people to transition into the new development there. And we need to take advantage of that before there's another plan to remove all those people. Because I have to tell you, there's not a hotel, there's not a restaurant that doesn't depend in the back of their house, in their kitchens, in their housekeeping staff, doesn't depend on the people who live at Stadium Trailer Park. So that's one thing.
Hmm.
But there's a lot more. I mean, I could talk about this for hours, so I don't know how much you want me to get into, but
Yeah,
uh,
well, yeah, we certainly wanted to hear, at least a summary of some of the accomplishments that you look back at and, can certainly lay claim to as an advocate of affordable housing in the community. But
yeah,
yeah.
I think Gulfview is a good one. The Gulfview apartment. I mean, the housing authority apartments on College Road. That maintaining those at the lowest level of rents, that was very important to me. And that was accomplished. Now, it took 9 years to build those. So, government, we've learned a lot, and the partnerships that we had with AH of Monroe. If you look at and you compare the two, right? The apartments on College Road took 9 years. The full development at Truman Waterfront, known as the Lofts, which is another great accomplishment, that took less than 2 years to develop and build.
Mhm.
So, private public partnerships are a good thing. I think that's a good example of that. Um, but over the years, there have been some successes and some not successes. I mean, look at Searstown. I advocated very strongly for, and I still think, I think it's important that your listeners know that I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that Publix will not build housing with regard to the redevelopment of Searstown and Key Plaza. But it takes a mayor to sit down, reach out, and appeal to their best business practices. Appeal to their sense of community. Publix is a very generous corporation, right? They donate a lot of money to a lot of causes, including in Key West. So what we need to do, we need a mayor that's going to sit down with them and really negotiate and try to convince them to do the right thing and build some housing at Key Plaza and even at Searstown. I think it's still possible. So that's my approach to this.
Yes, it is Sam Kauffman. He's City Commissioner, District 2, running for mayor, Keys Talk 96.9, 1025. The Talk of the Keys. You had mentioned a strategic plan, the Key West Forward Fasting Fund finish that's being proposed with workshops, et cetera. What is your perspective on that?
Well, to me, at this point, it's mostly a public relations tool, not much substance. If you look at it, I think that the current management and City Hall kind of were caught with their pants down. a year ago, I was talking about, well, there's no strategic plan and why and how are we approved a budget last year without a strategic plan. They're going to approve a budget this year without a strategic plan. So on December 11th, 2025, the city manager called a strategic planning session. There was one session. Remember, when the last strategic plan was put together, there were dozens of workshops like bringing the community together. There were stakeholder meetings in the business community, in the nonprofit community, in among contractors. There was a survey done of hundreds of residents, and it was really put together in a very concrete way. Anyway, there was nothing heard about the strategic plan after December 11th until I think they had another workshop in June. Uh, and that workshop I attended, and there wasn't that much substance to it, um, quite frankly.
Hmm.
And it's just basically, if you look at the draft, it's like 85 pages long, and it's just a laundry list of every possible project you could think of.
Hmm.
And that's not really a strategic plan. A strategic plan is more, needs to be targeted, bring people together on specific priorities. And really, the city should pick like two or three things to really focus on and try to accomplish, right? Just be able, because the idea of a strategic plan at the end, you want to be able to say, look, this was our plan and this is what we accomplished. And to have a list of 85 pages of things is not the way to go. So I would just approach this a lot differently, and I think we will. Because I'd like to give each department specific goals that they can achieve so they can have benchmarks to know, were they successful in the past year when they look back?
Hmm. Sam Kauffman, he's District 2 Commissioner, also running for Mayor. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. And Sam, earlier we thanked you for your 10 years plus of service, serving as a city commissioner. You're now seeking the mayor seat. Key West, apparently, if I'm not mistaken, operates under a mayor-council system. The mayor and city commissioner are responsible for making policy decisions, overseeing city operations. If you were to become mayor, transitioning from a commissioner's position, how do you see that changing your ability to maybe move forward with some of the initiatives you have been working on, progressing on over the past 10 years?
It's very exciting because the opportunities are vast and for improvement. And when I talk to people across the island, people are excited. I mean, the mayor can lead in ways that other commissioners cannot. So, for example, a mayor can call special meetings. A mayor can call workshops. So, for example, in the last 2 years, we haven't had a single presentation on water quality testing data to the city commission.
Hmm.
I could call a special meeting just to focus on that, to get a status update from our experts. Stantec, that's a company called Stantec that's doing some water quality testing, but unfortunately, this mayor and this commission decided not to fund testing in the harbor, which made no sense to me. And we haven't done nearly enough testing that we need to do to get to the things that we need to do. For example, improvements to our stormwater system, improvements to our sewer system. These things, this is going to require millions of dollars of investment, and we need the data to justify that investment and to apply for grant funding. And so people ask, well, why is it that the Department of Health says it's unsafe so many days of the year to go into the water at Higgs Beach or at Smathers Beach? Well, there's a lot of speculation. People think it may be the runoff. It could be the shallow injection wells from Stock Island. It could be, the chickens and the iguanas. Okay, but we need the data. And so a mayor, that's just one example. A mayor can bring forward the agenda and move it forward. And the same thing with affordable housing, the same thing with our budget, the same thing with our fire station, the same thing with supporting our fire department and our police department. There's so many things that's why I'm really excited about the opportunity, because we could actually bring people together on all these issues and make a lot of progress.
Hmm. And also, Sam, you had mentioned earlier about some of the essential services that might be cut. We may be looking at some reductions in revenue with property tax reform, that kind of thing. So Key West rides possibly getting cut. Other transportation services were cut a year or so ago with Freebie, et cetera. Now that was the county level. but some of these, even firefighters, et cetera, in order to keep taxes, at a reasonable rate, rollback or whatever it might be, what are some of the glaring areas that you see in the budget that should be addressed for reductions?
I mean, and that's exactly the question that the commission should have had more information about on at the workshop.
Hmm.
So, in other words, if you have 568 employees and you're a business, right? And you, let's say you were in the private sector and your CEO went to the board of directors and the board of directors said, "Well, what are we going to cut?" You would expect a list of the 568 positions, right? You would expect a list of those that are least essential. You would expect a list of how to remove some of those positions through attrition without firing people, right? None of that information was provided to the city commission. And it's very there's a lot of just information that seems to be hidden, just like transit, like you referenced. No, people are going to be very upset when, for example, retirees, an older person has to sit outside in the heat for up to an hour to wait for a bus. That's just not workable. And so the way we really should be handling this is we need to reduce the expenses, okay, first. And that's why the warnings were made back when the city commission approved a $28 million bond requiring $2.5 million in annual repayment. That's just not sustainable without major tax increases, which is not sustainable, and without cutting jobs. So we really need to, I really believe we need to go back. Remember, budget is not finalized until September 20th. So that's a full month after the election. So we'll have some time, and I think we're going to have to get right on it after the election. But we need to reduce the expenses of the bonds, quite frankly, because that's just not going to be sustainable. And then we need to look at, through attrition, who's set to retire this coming year. Because that's the first place we should be looking for eliminating jobs, not firing police officers or firefighters. That's ridiculous. That's terrible. And it's so ironic because the criticism I get is I'm against the fire station, supposedly, which is ridiculous. But I'm against the fire station. But because of the action that this mayor and this commission took, firefighters are going to have to be fired. I mean, you can't make this kind of stuff up, but that's how it played out.
Yeah. Well, we talk all the time. Social media can put a lot of information out there that people need to proceed with caution, I would say. So, yeah,
Right.
but we appreciate you taking the time to utilize this platform to get your views and where you stand out directly to the public. You also have been an advocate for healthcare, of course, in the city of Key West, and the leader, essentially forming the Lower Keys Hospital District Advisory Board. But we have an RFP moving forward. It looks like there was the 7-0 vote to approve the RFP. Maybe you can explain where we are in the process as far as possibly having a new or current operator continuing at Lower Keys Medical Center.
Yeah, again, the future is bright on this front, and a very important issue, obviously, to everyone. All of us at one point or another might face an emergency, either ourselves personally or our family members, and have to depend on this hospital. And I've been very grateful for those partners in the community. 2.5 years ago, I formed a task force. I have 36 members of our community, all very experienced, talented. I mean, it's amazing the talent we have in our community, especially among our retirees. We have people, I've learned over this last 2.5 years, we have people who are experts who have managed health insurance companies with, 100 million subscribers, right? I mean, it's amazing the people that I meet in town, people who have been hospital administrators for 40 years and physicians, and it's been a great experience. But where we're at now, it's really phenomenal. When we first started this process 2.5 years ago, the hospital district board was poised just to renew the contract with the current operator, which, in hindsight we all know that would have been a terrible decision. But in any case, the hospital district board thankfully approved a competitive bidding process known as a request for proposals. And I believe it's September 28th is the deadline for different hospital administrators to apply. We expect Mount Sinai to apply and Kendall Regional, HCA Kendall Regional, and maybe Tampa General and Baptist and the current operator, and hopefully more. The more the better to be able to compare what the different offerings are. But it's really exciting because it's just going to be another couple years. We have to get through the next couple of years, okay? But we're going to have a first-class hospital. We're going to have first-class cardiac care, which we don't have now. We're going to have dialysis in the hospital, which we don't have now. We're going to have a commitment to continuing the cancer treatment care that we need and have a working relationship with Baptist, whoever takes over. So these are really important and have the fullest array of medical services that we can. Can we have every specialist, 7 days a week in Key West? Probably not. But we need to maximize the potential and the reinvestment in the hospital. The current operator takes out over $30 million a year to, believe it or not, a place called Brentwood, Tennessee, their corporate headquarters. And the next hospital operator has to commit to reinvesting that 30 million. I believe it'll go up to 50 or 60 million a year back into improving the hospital. So it's great. It's probably the best news we've had this year about the future of our community.
Well, Sam Kauffman, he's Commissioner of District 2 and indeed founded the Commissioner's Lower Keys Medical Center Task Force. So we thank you for that as well. And that task force is moving forward with solidifying a relationship with the operator of the future for the Lower Keys Medical Center, whether it is the current operator or another one. So thank you for that. Sam Kauffman running for mayor, Kauffman for KeyWest.com. Sam, we've utilized a lot of your morning here so far this morning, but we wanted to give you the opportunity again to address the constituents and the voting public. And is tradition, let's give you the final word and maybe closing comments, if you would, please.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank you, Michael. I think you are a fantastic interviewer. I always enjoy appearing on your program, and I think we need more of this. And I hope that, regardless of the outcome of the election, I hope that I can contribute and others in this kind of format, because I think that the public really needs more information. And I think that a big theme of my campaign is opening government to more people. If you're interested in an issue, and you know this if you've emailed me or you text me. By the way, my personal cell phone number is 305-304-5848. I answer every text. I answer every email. You could email me at sam@kaufmanforkeywest.com. sam@kaufmanforkeywest.com. You could email me. I answer all the emails. I answer the comments on Facebook. I'm happy about that, because the biggest thing I hear from members of the public is that they don't know why decisions are being made, how they were made, and there's not information in advance. So when I'm mayor, you're going to know about the issues before they get to the agenda on a city commission meeting. You're not going to be surprised if something is proposed for your neighborhood, where they're going to build a new building in your neighborhood, for example, or the streets are not being fixed properly. You're going to know about that in advance, because we're going to do everything we can to put out the notices and have workshops and things of that sort, so you can be involved and we can solicit your input so we can make better decisions. So that's a big part of the campaign. There's a lot more, but please reach out to me if you have questions.
Well, thank you, Sam. And, it's interesting. Political seasons always bring out the fact that people do not necessarily agree on all of the issues, but I constantly admire your dedication and service to our community. And no one could question your passion or commitment or your love for Key West and the Florida Keys. And we are grateful for that. And we are grateful that you're willing to continue to serve. So thank you, sir.
And thank you, Michael. But I would add, disagreement helps us make better policy.
Good point.
It's okay to disagree.
It is.
We should do it. We shouldn't be doing it, in a disagreeable manner, but we can, the problem with City Hall now is that we don't listen to opposition. We need to hear the disagreements, because we can then tweak the policies to make them stronger and better. And that I'm all for that. And we need more public engagement for that reason. And I'm sure you see it all the time. People are upset about learning about things after the fact, and they didn't get a chance to speak about it. So anyway, we can improve that.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you. We will talk again, and I'm sure I will see you soon. Thank you so much for your time today and for your service. Take
Thank
care,
you,
sir.
Michael.
Yes,
Have a
sir.
great day, everybody.
Thank you very much. Sam Kauffman. He's Commissioner District 2, running for mayor, City of Key West. Kauffman for keywest.com to learn more. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. We'll be back in a moment.
Good morning, dear. Breakfast almost ready?
In a minute. So did you happen to call someone about spalling repair for the house?
You know what? I knew I forgot something yesterday.
Honey, you know how important spalling repair is, especially here in the Keys. If that spalling damage gets any worse...
Don't worry. I'll call Design Center in Marathon.
When?
Today.
How about now?
Okay, dear. Now.
Design Center, the most efficient spalling contractor in the Keys, providing the fastest results. With over 40 years combined experience in spalling repair and a member of the International Concrete Repair Institute, Design Center can handle the largest jobs to small structures. They also handle quite a number of condominium and county projects. Mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair. Visit DesignCenterFL.com or call 305-735-4042. Design Center, 6677 Overseas Highway Marathon. License number CGC 1523838. Remember, mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair from Design Center.
This is Ollie North for 4-Star Rentals. 4-Star Rentals is the most complete rental store in the Keys. They can provide rental equipment for every do-it-yourself project from your house to your yard. Bobcats, chippers, chainsaws, and tile saws, you name it, they have it. They also deliver throughout the Keys. That's 4-Star Rentals. Model marker 4.5 on Stock Island. These guys are really good. That's 4-Star Rentals. Go see them soon.
Check us out. What Colonel Ollie North says is absolutely true. We're locally owned and operated. We offer a fleet of delivery trucks for fast all-in-one delivery. 4-Star Rentals is the oldest tool rental and party store in the Florida Keys. We make it easy to get that job done for that party or very special event. We're located at mile marker 4.5 in Key West, or just call us and we'll come to you. 4-Star Rentals, 294-7171. That's 294-7171. Remember, Colonel Ollie North never lies.
Historic Pepe's Cafe in Key West, founded in 1909, still does things the old way. Diachronic, if you will. How about fresh squeezed juices? Think how good that margarita or Greyhound will taste. Blue Point oysters shucked to order because oysters work better that way. Fresh breads and outstanding specials in an eatery that opened the same year Ole Evinrude invented the first outboard motor. And get a jump on someone's birthday and check out our retail offerings for some great gift ideas. Pepe's Cafe, Old Town Key West, of course.
Get ready to laugh out loud with the Greenhouse Giggles. Brought to you by the Greenhouse Dispensaries of Florida. Monday through Friday, it's a hand-picked lineup of timeless TV comedy that guarantees smiles, chuckles, and full-on giggles. Each episode features legendary performers like Red Skelton, Bob Hope, The Three Stooges, Betty White, George Burns, Milton Berle, Dick Van Dyke, and so many more. So catch the giggles for Greenhouse Giggles, weekdays 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Sponsored by the Greenhouse, here on Keys Living TV.
Good morning, Keys, on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys, another hot one, but we could get some rain coming our way. And, of course, Tropical Storm Bertha is headed more towards New Orleans at this point. But we could get 30% chance of a shower or a thunder shower in our neck of the woods. Tonight, 82 for your low showers are likely at 70%. Tomorrow, 50% chance of a shower or a thunder shower and 89. And then the weekend, mostly sunny on Saturday and Sunday. Just a slight chance of showers on Sunday, 20% there. We're going to say good morning to Nancy Klingener. She's with the Monroe County Public Libraries. Good morning to you, Nancy.
Good morning.
Hi there. So thanks so much for being here. And, well, the summertime is almost about to wrap up. Just a few more weeks till school starts. But I imagine that you've been busy with the summer reading programs and summer events, et cetera. Hopefully parents have been able to take advantage of all the resources Monroe County Public Libraries offers.
That's right. We've had great turnouts at our events and participation with the reading logs and all that good stuff. Good. And in Key West, at least, we're going to keep it going for the first 2 Saturdays in August. So take a look at that calendar and see what's going on, including a visit from the Monroe County Sheriff's Animal Farm on Saturday, August 1st.
August 1st? And that's in Key West, you said?
That's right.
That is great. And they're going to bring some of the residents with them of the farm?
Yeah,
Oh,
they always do.
That's really cool. So August 1st it is. And what time will that happen?
11 a.m.
Do you need registration for that, anything like that? Or?
Not for that one. Nope.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, that'll be exciting. Yet another example of all of the different events that you can take part in. You can go to the events tab at keyslibraries.org to find out the multitude of events that you and your family can take part in. Let's also talk about Law Depot and a chance for our library members to save some money. Legal forms, wills, leases, bill of sale, and more. Yet another resource I was unaware of. That is available through the Monroe County Public Library.
That's right. If you go right to our homepage, keyslibraries.org, and you'll see the little cards for Libby and Canopy and Freegal Music, another cool service that comes with your library card, but also Law Depot. So yeah, if you're like, I need to make a will, I need to make a bill of sale, I need to do power of attorney, you can get all those forms right there with your library. Just log in. There's a step-by-step guide on how to do it.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, typically you'd have to pay some subscription fees to get that elsewhere, but Law Depot on the website, there's a direct link right there at keyslibraries.org. You can find those forms 24/7 at your fingertips. Yet another resource available through the Monroe County Public Libraries. We're speaking with Nancy Klingener. She's with the Monroe County Public Libraries as well. And as we talked about, summer reading is on for July, and all the branches will continue into August for a few more weeks. A lot of titles just added there on the website. Of course, we also don't want to forget about Canopy, thousands of films and TV series from classics to new releases available there. Ebooks are kind of the rage here, and you've got a long list of titles for Libby. Anything from digital magazines to ebooks to audiobooks, etc. Freegal Music. Boy, oh boy, I tell you, the senses are all available to be fulfilled, whether it be for music or reading or the like. All there right on the website.
Yeah, and we're really interested in, we know we live here too. We know it's not cheap to live here. So we're really interested in helping Keys residents get the stuff that comes with their library card, audiobooks, streaming music, videos, and there's a lot of instructional videos on Canopy as well. The great courses and cooking and all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot of things that you might be paying for that you could just get with your library card.
Yeah, and you don't know what is available until you go to Monroe County Public Library website, which again is keyslibraries.org. So with Hemingway Days coming up next week, do you find that the Hemingway titles are more popular this time of year?
Yeah, we definitely get people coming in. And if you actually go to our Libby site, you'll see there's a selection of Hemingway titles right there at the top. Because, we know that the spirit is with us right now.
Yeah, most definitely. And also, we do want to make mention of the Florida Keys History Center. I just popped over there on your website, and I'm not going to go to the archival images because I'll be there all day. It's amazing. 24,000 plus images of the history of the Florida Keys. What a terrific collection and tribute to it's just amazing to take a look back through the Florida Keys History Center today.
That's right. We are actually this very month, it's 20 years since we started posting those photos on Flickr, and they have been viewed, believe it or not, more than 50 million times.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
They've been used by, historians and scientists and journalists and artists and all kinds of folks, people researching their houses. It's just, and the rest of us who just really looking at those photos.
Yeah, that's really great. Nancy Klingener with us. She is with Monroe County Public Libraries. Again, to find out more, keyslibraries.org. And yes, it's hard to believe summer's almost over. We've got the students coming back to school here in just a few weeks. But again, the public libraries continue to be a tremendous resource in our community with multiple locations and always available 24/7 at keyslibraries.org. Nancy, you've probably got a busy day to get to. Anything else, though, that we should mention? I appreciate the Law Depot update, for one thing.
Yeah, with the people heading back to school, if you check out our kids and teens section, which you can also get to right there from the homepage, we've got a lot of resources there available as well.
You do. I see it right there. There's the tab. Again, all available, keyslibraries.org. Kids and teens, whether it's homework help, books and movies and more, specifically for kids and teens, as well as the kids category, what's happening throughout the different branches, etc. Again, it is all there. What a tremendous resource. It's all available at your public library with multiple locations up and down the Keys and keyslibraries.org. Nancy, thank you so much for being here this morning on a busy Thursday. You have a wonderful weekend, and thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, take care. It's Nancy Klingener. She's with the Monroe County Public Libraries at keyslibraries.org and throughout the Keys as well. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. We're back in a moment.
Are you frustrated by weight gain even though you constantly diet? Do you have low energy or always feel tired? It could be hormonal imbalance. Hormonal imbalances, especially as we age, can be the cause of depression, weight gain, mood swings, decreased libido, and many other chronic conditions. At Keys Med Spa, we have helped thousands of women and men regain their hormonal balance with BioT, bioidentical hormone optimization therapy, and the results are life-changing. Keys Med Spa BioT hormone therapy is safe, effective, painless, and affordable. And the big difference at Keys Med Spa, this is all overseen by renowned Dr. Peterson, who has had a medical practice in the Keys for over 27 years. Cool sculpting, Botox, skin treatments, BioT hormone therapy, and more. Dr. Peterson and his team are here to help you maintain your youthful glow and vitality. To see if BioT hormone therapy is right for you, call Keys Med Spa today at 305-587-9183.
If you're on vacation to relax and have fun, we have an app for that. The Greenhouse carries products that can help you reconnect with your inner child, dance with confidence, reduce stress, and we have others that'll help you relax with a good night's sleep.
Whether you're a cannabis connoisseur or just canna-curious, our team of highly trained bud tenders are here to help you reach all your vacation goals.
Just dance your way into one of our many locations and share your goals with one of our highly trained bud tenders. All product recommendations come with a money-back guarantee, no medical card needed. You just have to be 21 or older.
I tried the Greenhouse Guarantee, 100% satisfaction or your money back, and I'm still smiling.
The Greenhouse. We spell it with 3 E's so that you can't say it without smiling. If smiling is your goal today, then type the word green with 3 E's into your browser and find the Greenhouse that's closest to you.
Stop on by and stay high.
We're up and down the Florida Keys and other parts of South Florida.
Hey, Key West, Danny Hughes here from Two Friends. Really from Two Friends. So Maura and I were sitting at breakfast in the bar, listening to live music at 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. She's about to enjoy some huevos rancheros and me shrimp and grits with fried oysters. Heart healthy. And Maura says, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. It was perfect because we didn't move here because Key West is like a lot of other places. We moved here because it isn't like any other place on earth. So meet your friends or make your friends at Two Friends, 512 Front Street in Old Town Key West or twofriends.com.
Let's talk trash. I'm Taylor Conrath, and my family's been taking care of your family's trash for years. In fact, we've operated Marathon Garbage Service and kept the Middle Keys clean since my great-grandpa, John Conrath, founded the company in 1950. That's a lot of years talking trash and hauling trash. And these days, we take care of your family's recyclables in addition to commercial and residential waste removal. The Conrath family and our entire team of great employees takes pride in keeping our community clean, from the north end of the 7 Mile Bridge to Craig Key. Now it's my generation of Conraths working together with my grandfather and my dad to continue the tradition and commitment started in 1950 at Marathon Garbage Service. The Conrath family is always there for your family. If you need to talk trash, just call us at 305-743-5165. That's 305-743-5165. Or visit us at 4290 Overseas Highway in Marathon and online at marathongarbageservice.com.
Step back in time. Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold delicious ground coffee always brewing and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in-store with 24 hours advance notice. And enjoy new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness with a gift card available for purchase in-store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. OldTownBakeryKeyWest.com.
This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Yes, we could be getting rain. That is coming our way, according to the weather forecast. And the newsroom also did correct me that Tropical Storm Bertha did make landfall. I guess I'm maybe in a time lapse or something. But yes, it's on its way to Texas, not New Orleans, made landfall yesterday. But luckily did not make its way into the hurricane status. So that is good. We will keep our fingers crossed that that continues to be the case for us here as well in the Florida Keys. But we are looking at the possibility of some showers coming your way, 30% chance of rain and showers and thunder showers today, 70% chance tonight, though still warm, 94 today, 82 for tonight. The weekend could have a slight chance of a shower on Sunday. Otherwise, Saturday is looking pretty good for us here. So we've been talking a lot about the budget in Key West. Also, the Islamorada Council had set its preliminary property tax rate of 2.8 mils. That's $280 per 100,000 of properties assessed value. That approval, the first week of June, kick-started the budget process in the village, and the workshops will be coming up for the village of Islamorada on the budget. That will happen August 4th through the 6th. Overall, the village's gross taxable value for 2026 was a big number. Looks like $7,596,000,000 plus dollars. Compared to last year, the taxable value in Islamorada jumped by a little more than $491 million. By statute, the village has 35 days to provide the property appraiser with the proposed millage rate, property tax rate that would generate the same revenue as the previous year, which in the village was 2.4756 mils. Village staff recommended the council start with a preliminary tax rate of 3 mils. The idea of decreasing the figure by the time of the final budget approval. Council members, however, elected the lower number to start out, which is 2.8 mils will be the ceiling for the village of Islamorada. So there you go. That's the latest from them. And also, thanks to Keys Weekly and to the Marathon Chamber of Commerce, they held a candidate forum last night with various political candidates who will be in the Marathon district, and lively discussions, questions and answers last night at the county government building. And that also appeared to be productive, a good attendance there of engaged voters, learning more and hearing from those vying for political office in Marathon. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. We're getting set for Glenn Beck, and boy, there are a lot of developments to talk about. Looks like the conflict overseas is gearing up and heating up even more. I believe it was the New York Times possibly reporting, don't quote me on that, but one of the major news bureaus reporting that we are having a further surge of troops and of weapons being sent to the Middle East, and also a lot of rhetoric being passed back and forth between the superpowers and now the Houthis getting involved in a separate part of the Middle East, which complicates things even more and expands the theater. So we'll be watching all of those developments and hearing about them. Glenn Beck will have a full analysis coming up here in just a few minutes, followed by Clay and Buck. They come your way at noon. Sean Hannity at 3 o'clock. 6 o'clock, it is Mark Levin, the great one. 9 o'clock, Jesse Kelly. Coast to Coast AM overnight as well. Breaking news as soon as it happens. Local, state, national news comes your way every half hour, at least, and weather around the clock. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Thanks for listening.